Chicago. Brandon Johnson. We just only going to spend 10 minutes on this one. Don't worry. Make sure y'all hit a like, too, before y'all leave. Brandon Johnson is proposing layoffs and tax hikes to fix the deficit, according to a local news station. Let's see what they got to say.
Developing tonight, Mayor Brandon Johnson dealing with the city's budget shortfall and speaking out on the school board resignations.
WGN's Jenna Barnes is following these developments for us now. Jenna.
Ray and Jackie, Mayor Brandon Johnson is reportedly looking at cuts to police academy classes and even potential layoffs as he works to close the $1 billion shortfall the city is facing. He's also defending his appointments for a new school board.
The parents of this city elected one of their own, and I'm going to do everything in our power to ensure that we don't go back to a time of chaos.
Mayor Brandon Johnson addressing the school board shakeup on WTTW after he announced 6 new appointees Monday in a fiery news conference.
If you have a question for the mayor of Chicago, you can ask me a question.
The current board chose to resign rather than fire Chicago Public Schools CEO Pedro Martinez and take out a high-interest loan to cover budget costs.
I'm not going.
Why would you ever put yourself in a position? How can you run the city so far into the ground to where you guys are considering taking out a high interest loan to cover budget costs? Look, if you can't cover costs, then that means that you taking out a loan with no future projection that could actually, you're going to be paying more back. That's so dumb. You got to take out a high interest loan to cover costs that's associated with the schools.
Going to cut and take away, lay off, fire, privatize, so that other people can benefit and the people of the city of Chicago continue to lose. Not under my watch.
But Johnson is looking to cuts and potential layoffs to tackle the city's nearly $1 billion budget shortfall. The Chicago Sun-Times reports Johnson has canceled 2 months of police academy classes as part of that effort to close the gap, though a statement from the Office of Budget and Management seems to dispute that reporting.
You guys in Chicago, basically what they're doing is they're eliminating or they're trying to close the budget shortfall, which you're not going to close a $1 billion budget shortfall. You're not going to close $1 billion, $942 million plus $250 million budget shortfall by eliminating putting the adequate amount of police officers on the street. They're sacrificing your safety because they want to fund a migrant crisis that they're not supposed to be in the first place. Do you realize that? They canceled Shot Spotter in your neighborhoods, a contract that was good for the community. They're not putting any police officers while they're losing due to natural attrition and them actually getting assaulted by people on the streets. They're short over 2,000 police officers, and they think that they can close the budget shortfall by basically allowing for y'all to police yourselves in a community full of monsters. And that's what y'all actually think makes sense. Do y'all realize that y'all honestly voted for your own demise? The people in Chicago, I am amazed that y'all voted for your own demise. Give me a second. Let me pull this up real quick. Let me see something. Chicago election results. Give me a second. Got to throw one more thing in there to be able to get it. 2023 Chicago mayoral election. Let's see if we can find anything that's worth figuring out over here. Check this out. Let me show y'all something. Because, see, I don't feel sorry for y'all. I think that y'all deserve exactly what y'all getting right now. The 2023 Chicago mayoral election was held on February 28, 2023. All right, to elect the mayor of Chicago, Illinois, with no candidate receiving a majority of the votes in the initial round of the election. A runoff election was held on April 4th. This 2-round election took place alongside other 2023 election, including races for the city clerk, council, treasurer, police council, and the police district councils. With Brandon Johnson being elected to a 4-year term, which began on May 15th. Y'all not even a year. Oh, yes, y'all are. Y'all about a year in. Okay, so did y'all know that Brandon Johnson received 21% the first round and 52% the second round? How many people are in Chicago? Chicago has 2.6 million people. Only Lori Lightfoot was eliminated. This was the first round. Y'all wasn't messing with any of them. So let's see, in the runoff, 319 plus 3, so about 620,000 people voted in Chicago's election. 620,000 people of 2.6 million people actually voted in the election. That's crazy. That is insane. So you had a small minority of the population determining who was going to be your mayor of Chicago. Brandon Johnson beat Paul Valles for mayor. Wow. Wow. Brandon Johnson, born 1976. Worked as a social studies teacher at Jenner Academy Elementary and George Westinghouse College Prep. Both part of the Chicago school system, became an organizers for the Chicago Teachers Union in 2011 and helped organize a 2012 teacher strike. This is him right here, all the way over there. Before he got the mohawk, he had the dusty look, all right? Before he had the mohawk, he had the dusty look. Y'all elected this dude to be your mayor. He organized a strike in 2019. Jesus. Oh my God. Good grief. Y'all elected a elementary school teacher to be the, good God. Johnson spoke at a solidarity rally supporting striking teachers and supporting staff during the 2019 Chicago Public Schools strike. Good God. He endorsed Elizabeth Warren in the 2020 Democratic Party presidential. In the summer of 2020, amid the George Floyd protests, Johnson authored the Justice for Black Lives resolution that was adopted in July 2020. The resolution called for the reallocating funding from policing and incarceration to public services not administered by law enforcement that promote community health and safety equitably. In that year, in an interview that year, Johnson praised the political catchphrase, defund the police, as a real political goal. Wow. And y'all voted this guy into office. Y'all thought that he was going to actually help y'all and hold y'all down and be an advocate for you, and that he would be able to manage a Chicago city budget, and then right after that, he gave y'all the migrant crisis that he ushered in. Jesus Christ.
I'm being assured that every recruit who's been hired, trained, and is in the process of going through the academy will still be able to complete their training. It'll just be delayed by a couple of months. Frankly, I don't really see the advantage of doing this, and my concern is that there may still be some attrition.
Crain's Chicago Business reports this morning the mayor also told department leaders to find personnel cuts in their budgets as an exercise in case of layoffs, as the city looks to find an additional $75 million in savings. To avoid layoffs and the almost certain union fight that would follow, Crain's reports Johnson is also considering a property tax increase, which would mean going back on a campaign promise.
It's tough right now. I don't envy the position that he's in.
The city is also looking to save $110 million through refinancing. The mayor's office announcing today the Finance Committee has approved the city to issue $1.5 billion in new bonds at lower interest rates to replace outstanding bonds at higher interest rates.
So basically, the city is in debt. The city is in crazy debt. They trying to refinance loans for stuff that they ain't even paying for no more. They about to raise y'all property taxes from a mayor that told y'all that he wanted to defund the police, yet he's an advocate for community safety, and he was a freaking elementary school teacher. Don't tell me that anything is not working. Anything is possible in the United States of the Americas. You just got to pay for it as taxpayers. And shout out to the other 2 million people that didn't even vote in the election that could have swung it another way. Shout out to you. Congratulations.